Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Prince Automation Destination. This is Prince. I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to continue our discussion on how to deserialize a JSON response into POJO classes with the help of default REST assured library. So without further delay, first of all, let us discuss about what we have covered so far. So we discussed about what is deserialization. This is one of the most widely asked interview question and is an important concept as well when we are working in REST assured and we want to deal with JSON response. Then we covered deserialization using ObjectMappper class. ObjectMapper belong to JSON databind, and JSON databind is one of the most widely used library to deserialize a JSON response into POJO classes. We covered the concept of type reference in ObjectMapper. Then we covered deserialization using GSON library, and as part of GSON library, we discussed about type token as well, which is similar to type reference. In case you are not aware on these topics, I would request you to please check out the same in the description section. Also, I'll be sharing the same in the I icon as well. So without further delay, let me jump onto the practical demonstration. So I have created a project, which is a sample Maven project, and it has a REST assured library that I have added in the pom.xml. Talking about the folder structure, so we have src main and src test. Under src test section, what I have done is under src test Java, I have created a package deserialization REST assured default. In your case, you can create folder or package of your choice, right? Then inside this particular package, I have created API package and then POJO. Inside API, I'm going to write or create a class where I'm going to write the logic to hit the API. And corresponding to the JSON response that we are going to receive, I'm going to create a POJO class here, right? Then talking about resources, under resources, I'm going to keep few resources that we will soon understand. Now, let me go to the endpoint website. So this is the sample RESTful Booker APIs, which has many sample endpoints, such as create token to create authentication token. Then it has get booking IDs where we can get list of booking IDs. Similarly, it has create booking. And as part of today's discussion, we are going to talk about create booking, right? So it has post method. This is the endpoint, right? And it accepts content type as application JSON. And also we need to send the body in this particular format. And when we hit this particular endpoint, we will get response something like this, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to hit this particular endpoint with the help of REST assured library. And as a result of hitting the API, we will get this particular response. And we are going to map this particular response into the POJO classes, right? So now let us go to the project, right? Inside API, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a class, create booking, right? Because we are going to create a booking. Inside this, let me add a main method. Okay. Now we are going to write REST assured basic syntax. So this is how we write REST assured syntax. REST assured.given, where we define the preconditions or the things that we want to send. So first thing what it need is dot content type, which is going to be content type JSON, right? Then it does not need anything else except body. So it need body, right? So how we can pass body? Body is like a payload, right? So if we go here on this particular endpoint, so this is the body. So I'm going to simply copy it, right? And going under src test resources, I'm going to create a file and let us give it name create booking .json, right? Inside this, let us paste our data and let us modify first name, last name to Kumar, right? And let us keep other things as it is, right? Now, in order to pass this body, first of all, we'll have to read it. For that purpose, I'm going to use file equal to new file, right? And here we need to provide the location of this particular create booking.json. So right click on this, copy path and copy from content root and let us provide it inside, right? We can give it name like create booking payload, right? Now what we need to do, we need to simply provide it in the body, right? So once we have provided the body, the next thing is we need to hit this particular endpoint. So to hit this particular endpoint, we'll have to add when. So what is the method that we're going to hit? Post, right? And here we can provide the entire endpoint, or what we can do is we can provide this URI here, right, in given condition, right? Because if I go to this particular site, so this is the base URI, right? Up till this point, this is the base URI. So let us copy it and provide it under base URI, right? And the endpoint part, let us provide in this particular section, right? So let us provide it here. So once we have hit this particular endpoint, let me move to the next slide, right? So once we have hit this particular endpoint, next thing is we need to get the response. So for that purpose, we need them, right? So then dot expect dot response. Okay. So this is how we can get the response. Okay. First of all, let us import this, right? And let us try to run this and verify whether we have hit this particular endpoint properly, right? So let me hit this particular endpoint using rest assured. So I'm running this particular class and let us see if it is successful. So you see it is successful. It created a booking and these are the details, right? Next thing is we want to map this right into POJO classes. Okay. So here we have a response.as method, right? Here inside this we can provide the class, but before that we need the classes as well, the POJO classes. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to copy this particular response, right? And going to this particular POJO, going to click on POJO. I have added one plugin to create the POJO, that is generate POJO from JSON. So you can also go to settings and you can add plugin, right? Settings and plugin, and you can choose this particular JSON to POJO. So JSON to Java or Promo POJO generator, right? So you need to use any of these libraries, right? So you need to click on this particular location, then click on File, New, Generate POJO from JSON, right? And provide your JSON response here, and let us choose none for now, right? And what is the root class that we are going to use? Let us give it name customer booking, right? You can give it any name, right? It should be relevant, meaning if we are dealing with booking, it's better to give it name customer booking. If we are updating a booking, we can give it name update booking, right? Likewise, we can do it. Okay, so it has created the POJO classes. Okay, so for creation of POJO, I have already covered different videos. You can check out the same in icon as well, right? So if I go here, so this is similar to this particular response, right? So at root, what it has booking ID, that is an integer, then it has another JSON object that is booking. So that's why it has created another class booking. So if I go inside booking, so it will have all these fields: string first name, string additional needs, booking dates, total price, deposit paid, last name, right? And corresponding getters as well, right? Now here also somewhere you will find another class, because if you go to this particular response, right, meaning the booking has booking dates, which is also like a different POJO. So that's why it has created another POJO class as well, booking dates, which contains check-in and check-out, right? So this is how we can create POJO classes. This is also one of the most widely asked interview question, right? Now what we can do, right? So response.as, right? Here I can provide customer booking class. So what it will do is it will simply convert this into customer booking, right? Let us see. But here is a catch actually. So if you will try to do this, right, what will happen is, for example, if I try to get the booking ID and if I try to run, it won't work. Why it won't run? You will soon understand. So I'm running it. So you see what it is saying, cannot parse object because no JSON deserializer found in class path. Please put either JSON data byte or JSON. So what it is saying, that even though you are using as method, but it is internal internally using or relying on either JSON or a GSON library, right? So we cannot do it directly. So what I'm going to do now, I'm simply going to move here, and I have this particular JSON data bind and going to this particular dependency. Let us move here and let us copy it, right? Then we will go here in pom.xml, right? And let us add this particular dependency and let us reload it. Okay. Now if I go here and if I try to run it, this time it will work fine. So you see, we got 152, that is booking ID, right? Which would have been created, right? Now, instead of this JSON data bind, we can use GSON as well. So for example, if I remove JSON and provide GSON, so for JSON also, this is the Maven library, right? So let me copy it and let me provide this particular dependency and let me reload this particular project. So now let us try to rerun it once again. So you see, we got 509 because this would be the new booking ID which got generated, right? So now, depending on which library you are using for deserialization, that is whether you are using GSON or you are using JSON, you can tweak these POJO classes. So depending on whether you are using GSON or JSON data bind, we can modify these fields. So if we want to ignore some of the fields, for GSON, there is a different annotations. For JSON, there is a different annotation. In case you want to understand more on this, you can check out my videos on how to deserialize using ObjectMappper as well as how to deserialize using GSON. So this is what I wanted to cover, guys, as part of current discussion.